Welcome back to the Bumper Breakfast. This is the news recap. I begin this morning with President Muhammadu Buhari dispelling insinuations that insecurity is on the rise in the country. Just as it says, the narrative by some Western countries on the security situation in our country are false. The president spoke at the opening ceremony of a 3-day strategic communication conference for state commandant and public relations officers of the Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps in Abuja. He made it clear that while insecurity still exists in Nigeria, it is not rising, pointing out the security situation in the country was under control.
In what appeared like an audacious reprimand, the House of Representatives has accused the ministers and other appointees of President Muhammadu Buhari of undermining the government's effort to tame corruption in the system. The chairman, Public Accounts Committee of the House, Wale Oke, gave the reprimand during the 2023 Budget Defense Session with Office of the Auditor General of the Federation. This, however, followed a disclosure by the Auditor General of the Federation, Andrew Nwodili, that his office proposed a total budget of 11.151 billion for 2023, but the Budget Office approved and put 5.112 billion in the budget. According to him, the office had proposed a personnel cost of 3.041 billion as against the 2.349 billion contained in the budget. Also, a proposal of 5.59 billion for overhead costs as against 2.113 billion, and a proposal of 2.52 billion for capital expenditure as against the 62.70 million contained in the budget estimates.
And still talking about budget, the Budget Defense Minister of Information and Culture, Lai Mohammed, has advocated more funds for the ministry to achieve peace and stability in the country. He made the indication on Wednesday at the 2022 budget performance and 2023 budget defense of the ministry and its agencies in Abuja. Mohammed said the Ministry of Information at this critical time in Nigeria should have more funds to combat fake news, misinformation, and other trends that are threatening the country.
What I'm trying to say in a nutshell is that this Ministry of Information are even expected to benefit from a service-wide vote. And you are entitled to non-regular allowance, just like is applicable to other security agencies. Because we are talking, this is a matter of national emergency and national priority. Members of armed forces and other agents of caution can be on the field, but only few Nigerians can appreciate what they are doing in as much as information is not reached out to the...
So the chairman, sir, honestly, with this 345 million naira, I don't know how we can survive. This is a year we have national election, not only national general elections, we also have population census. I mean, what more time do you want to empower your Minister of Information than a year of election and a year of census? And we expect FRCN, NTA, Voice of Nigeria to perform wonders.
It's like the budget for the information is one way or the other rejected, because this is improper and this is not enough for an agency of information to perform its duty. How to generate the revenue is in the purview of some agencies, not the Ministry of Information. The Ministry of Information was established for a purpose, and the government must provide the instrument to perform their duty. And the duty, to perform the duty, is to fund the Ministry of... Unless we say we will agree that.
All right, still taking some stories from yesterday's news. I think this time around we're going straight to the Federal Executive Council, which has approved the 260 billion naira variation order in respect of repair works on the East-West Road project affected during the recent flooding activities in the Niger Delta. The Ministry of Works and Housing also got the approval for the award of contract for urgent repairs and special general maintenance of some roads nationwide, and the sum of 40 billion naira, and the completion time is 36 months.
To politics, Vice Presidential candidate.
What are we doing to avert food shortage? Number one, first and foremost, we have in place an intensive plan for dry season farming. We have gotten funding from the African Development Bank. We have some money also in our own provision. They have also just donated, or grant, if you will, $5 million. So we have some money that we are already planning to do dry season farming. Also, areas of conflict, we are recruiting additional rangers. Previously, I told you, I think in another forum that we have agro rangers that provide some measure of security on farmlands. We are recruiting more to do that. Also, we are intensifying farming in areas that have no conflict to make up for those areas that we are getting little or no access. So the thing is, the government, Mr. President, has specifically directed that to do everything humanly possible to make sure there is no food shortage in the country, and I can tell you there will not be any food shortage. Between the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development,
of a few roads nationwide. This includes the construction of Gogaram-Guri Road in Yobe State in the sum of 40 billion with a completion time of 36 months. Also got approval for the rehabilitation of the 90-kilometer Buni-Gari-Gulani Road, also in Yobe State, in the sum of 4 billion naira, with a completion period of 36 months. And also, finally, regarding urgent repairs in some of these roads, also for the reconstruction of Water Corporation Drive and Trinity Avenue, Victoria Island, Lagos State. That road was also approved in the sum, repair of that road was also approved in the sum of 2 billion naira with a completion period of 36 months. Finally, the Minister for Works and Housing also got approval for the award of contract for the dualization and reconstruction of the Kano, Kwana, Ganja, Adejia Road in Kano and Jigawa States, Section 2, Kano to Sale.
All right, let's move straight to Tone's political stories.
Yes, and politics. Vice presidential candidate of the All Progressives Congress, APC, Kasim Shatima, on Wednesday visited the Hausa community in Alabarago, Lagos State, and told them to vote for the party's presidential candidate, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, saying 2023 election is a time for the North to pay Tinubu back for his past support to the North. Shatima was accompanied by the Lagos State Governor, Babajide Sanwo-Olu, the Kano State Governor, Abdullahi Ganduje, Lagos APC Chairman Cornelius Ojelabi, and all Arewa leaders in Lagos.
Now is payback time. We are people of honor. We should honor our pledge and commitment. Most importantly, we want you to vote for APC Dagasama Arkasa. Presidency is Bola Ahmed Tinubu.
When we do Jagaban and Shetima, then we'll also ensure that we vote APC in House of Assembly and House of Reps. For your governorship, who are you doing? Prayer needs a leader who appreciates, who respects all religions, all tribes, all ethnic nationalities, because that is the only way that we can move forward in the present day Nigeria.
All right, Nkakemi.
All right, we're still talking about politics here. The Labour Party National Coalition for Defence and Equity and Social Justice has vehemently rejected the composition of the Presidential Campaign Council as released by the party's national chairman, Julius Abure. Speaking with newsmen in Lagos on Wednesday, the leader of the group, Kolawole Emmanuel, alleged that the council is a reflection of lopsidedness and a shift away from the principle of fairness, justice, and equity that the Labour Party is known for. He stated that the management team, zonal officers, and state coordinators that favor only the South East and South South is unjustifiable and fails the test of national justice.
The coalition rejects the appointment of the Southeast member as the state coordinators in the North. The coalition therefore called on Abure to immediately dissolve the National Campaign Council, the management team, the zonal officers, and of course, other directorate officers who are mostly cronies of the Director General and his deputy. While we are assuring you of our best support and loyalty, we will not hesitate to exploit all means or options, which include but not limited to legal instruments to seek redress.
It's the embarrassing show in Nasarawa and misappropriate of campaign fund to the tune of 100 million naira. This has caused the suspension of Makurdi campaign slated for today. Labour Party is supposed to be in Benue State today, but our candidate, Peter Obi, is not happy with the outing in Nasarawa. That is why he suspended it. Presidential Candidate Council must be reconstituted. We must top part of the affirmative action by including more women in the council.
Foreign news now.
In foreign news, the United Nations peacekeeping mission in the Democratic Republic of Congo, DRC, has withdrawn troops from the eastern military base of Rumangabo, ceding ground in the battle against the M23 rebel group. UN troops have been supporting Congolese forces against the M23, which launched a new offensive in October and seized the town of Kiwanga on Saturday. Breaking months of relative calm, the UN mission known as MONUSCO said in a post on Twitter that it had made a strategic and tactical withdrawal from Rumangabo in consultation with their partners to better prepare for the next step.
And going down to Russia and Ukraine, days after Russia suspended support for grain exports through the Black Sea, it has agreed with Turkey to restart its participation in the agreement. Russia accused Ukraine on Saturday of using a safety corridor for grain ships to attack its fleet in Crimea. However, the UN, Turkey, and Ukraine continued sending ships even after Russia halted its support for the deal.
The Russians have not withdrawn, as many people have said. The Russians have not terminated. The Russians have not pulled out some of these overall figures to get a sense of the value of the initiative. But we're also reminded today by Rebecca Greenspan, my colleague, the Secretary General of UNCTAD, that grain prices shot up by 6% over the weekend in Chicago as a result of the news that we heard about the suspension of Russian participation in the Black Sea Grain Initiative. And that shows you, I think, as if we needed it, something of the value of the initiative. The second set of statistics, if I may, refers to the number of ships still there. We have outbound ships in the Bosphorus. Those are ships that have left the Ukraine ports and have gone to the Bosphorus where they await inspection. 86 ships are there in that what I refer to as the maritime traffic jam, carrying nearly 2 million tons. 2 million tons, by the way, which is part of the 9 million, just for clarification. There are 12 ships in the Ukraine ports loaded, ready to come outbound. We have 5 ships in the Bosphorus inbound. They have already been inspected by all 4 parties before the recent suspension, and they are ready to move into the Ukraine ports and then back out. And I mention all this because we take the view, and this is what we have been doing today and will be doing tomorrow with our
And now let's take some sports reports. This one coming from Ukraine, asking the FIFA organization, the entire FIFA, to ban Iran from participating in this coming World Cup in Qatar. We'll have the Ukrainian Association of Football, UAF, is planning to submit a request to the World Football Governing Body, FIFA, to ban Iran from participating in Qatar World 2022. According to UAF, the request for the exclusion of Iran is based on the systematic human rights violations in Iran itself against its country, which was invaded by Russia on the 24th of February 2022. The Ukrainian Soccer Agency said Iran's participation may violate the principles and the norms of the FIFA statute in connection with the sanctions on Iran and the possible involvement of Iran in the military aggression of Russia against Ukraine. And with that, we come to the end of our news recap for this morning. Our first discussion is underway. Trust me, we're talking about something that will boost your life expectancy. And we have a guest in the studio to do justice.
Papa, mama, brother, sister, this Lagos must work for all of us. Everybody da fun Eko.
Oh yes, Lagos people, papa, mama, sister, brother, auntie, plus including uncle them. Better don land for Lagos State gidigba. Money wey be for Lagos State, then go use am for Lagos State wella. No more baba sope. Dem no go chop Lagos State money. Nobody go pocket Lagos State. Dem go take am build Lagos State, build road, build hospital, build houses, and na only one man fit do this job. His name na Abdulaziz Olajide Adediran Jandor. He come carry one ogbonge person as the deputy governor. Her name na Funke Akindele. My people, wetin we dey wait for? Make we vote for light, vote for change. No be the kind change wey dem vote before. This one na the original change. How Amumu don do? Pay dey pay.
Everybody da fun Eko.
My husband killer dey outside. He dey waka.
Passion and ambition.
Look at the way my boss was looking at you.
I'm loving someone.
Incessant crime and deceit.
I tell you, don't get go worse past corridor.
400,000.
Intertwined in the corridors of power.
I know you killed GPT and set him up.
On and off the streets.
Hey, don't try to be smart with me. I'm an officer of the law.
Covenant. Showing weekdays at 8 p.m. WAT on Africa Magic Showcase. Magic Showcase.
If this is what Father wanted, then maybe we should.
Stop it! Stop it this instant! Stop it!
The dying declaration of a king intensifies the rivalry between two brothers.
We cannot sit back and take it.
Brother, I do not want to fight with you.
And sets them on a path of infinite enmity. How dirty does it get?
But let me tell you something today. I will not sit down, fold my arms and do nothing.
Find out in this intriguing epic story, Itura, showing weekdays at 8:30 p.m. WAT on Africa Magic Showcase.